Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Mercedes City Commission. Today is January 6th, 2026, 6:30 p.m. And I would like to call this meeting to order. Item 2 is establishing the quorum. We'll start over here with you, Commissioner Howell.
Commissioner Howell, place 1, present.
Commissioner Armando Garcia, place 2, present.
And I'm Commissioner Ruben Saldana, place 4. Mayor will not be here. I assume Commissioner Martinez will be here a little later, but I'm not real sure. We do have a quorum and we can proceed with item 3, invocation. Anybody with a burning desire to do that?
Go ahead. We may bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this evening. We thank you and we're grateful for the people in the community of Mercedes knowledge to help this commission and guide us in truth. Help us and help the children to move this city, this community forward. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen. I also want a special blessing on the Wallace family. As I understood, passed away today, and George Longoria passed away today. I understood, or yesterday.
We can also include Albert Cano.
Oh, yes.
Albert Cano and
Ill. He's ill.
He's fallen ill. Okay. Yes, if we'll remember them in our prayers. Thank you, Commissioner Howell. Pledge of Allegiance, Commissioner Garcia, if you will lead us in that.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation. Open forum. Anybody signed up? I signed up.
Yes.
One.
Brief and professional as well. My name is Dr. Jacob C. Howell. I'm a resident here and proud educator and member here of the commission here, the city of Mercedes. And so one of the things I wanted to bring up was, and I've been up here several times prior, advocating for several things, positive things. And so what I wanted to bring up was just professionalism. I've done a lot of great things with many of you, and I look forward here shortly to continue to do positive and great things with and for the commission and for the city, and most importantly for the city and future of Mercedes. But there comes a time when I understand you have to be the antagonist of the story. You have to be the bad guy for some reason. And I'm sure we have talked about it. I'm not going to go too much into detail because I thought it was water under the bridge. I've gotten the phone calls. I'm sure some of y'all have gotten the phone calls as well. And look, I'm doing this for professionalism. I'm doing this for integrity and for my name. I am for the city of Mercedes. I am for any entity that wants to give us $1 billion, $1 million, a couple of $1,000s. Again, I thought this was water under the bridge, but when I'm getting the phone calls and hearing names, I'm not saying it's any of you all, but I'm just saying we all have to keep this professional. And if there's any implications, if there's any accusations, we need to come forth with those names, because I'm for that as well. Any leaks of information or whatever, I'm all for that. Let's find out what was leaked, and maybe we can talk about in the back. But again, I'm all for that. Again, I'm not gonna go into details. I thought it was water under the bridge, but I'm for funding the city and funding projects. And but I assure you, it's not coming from me. But I want to find out who and find out what for my name, because I would not stand for these type of false accusations. And again, I'm not saying it's any of y'all, but it's clearly we have to stay professional. Number 2, the water well issue. I think that might have been, even though I was against it, I'm totally for our residents, and I always will be for our residents. However, I respect your votes. I'm not here to criticize your votes, even though I may have not been in favor of it. But I feel like the verbiage was somehow might have been translated wrong. I believe that when Dr. Sardani made the motion, and I'm not too sure who made the second, I think it was, we were going to go with whoever had the well was going to be grandfathered in. If you had that well. I think there's some miscommunication out there. So I just wanted to kind of revisit that as well, because that's been a hot topic as of late. So I think, to my understanding, it got approved, but it was going to be a grandfathered in issue that if you had the well, you were going to go ahead and bypass that fee. Thank you, gentlemen, commission. Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you, Commissioner. There are no other people signed up for open forum, so we'll move to item 6A, presentation on Winter Wonderland event held December 12th, 2025 at RGV Premium Outlets. And we know we'll get to you quicker. So you're welcome to sit, but we'll get to you when we can. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Chief.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, City Commission. I'm just going to provide a quick rundown of our event at Winter Wonderland. I know some of you guys attended. It was a pretty good turnout. It ended up being pretty good. We got some good feedback from the general public, and as some of you got to see, it was very accessible for the elderly, the disabled, and a lot of children. We had no issues with parking. We had a lot of people. I don't have an exact count, but I know that we had a lot of good people, and then we had a lot of events to do. We had some snow, we had snow slide, we had moon jumps, we gave a lot of toys. So anyways, I'm just going to show some pictures real quick, so that I just want to show you all, and if you weren't there or you haven't seen these photos that we got, I don't know, Juan, can we get that file open? And I know we have a video that I wanted to share with y'all for this presentation. Before we get there, this type of event, it takes a lot of planning. So I do want to give, I want to commend all our directors, because I had everybody involved a little bit too much. I had to pull them. It's a big event. It takes a little bit of everybody. So Public Works did a great job, fire. I had everybody involved, planning, city secretary, HR, everybody played a role in this event. And that's why I was able to get so I want to share this video with y'all.
It's a whole video.
Sleigh bells ring.
involved. Oh, hold off on that. Another one. So we're still at item A. So MISD participated a lot, and we had some follow-up meetings with them, their band. The whole concept of this event obviously was the toy drive to give the toys back and bikes. For these previous years, Mr. Perez has been generous enough to donate bikes to the children, and we've gotten some sponsors like our district attorney and other local businesses that came together, and that's how we were able to pull off a lot of these things to be successful, at least for the toy drive. Another thing for the event itself, when we decide almost a year back to see what theme we're going to make, we decided to go with Disney, only because Disney is not a very typical place where just any family can go to. It's obviously something very expensive, and we kind of wanted to bring that little Disney, at least a little bit of that Disney type of feeling, where those fireworks, the parade comes in, the marching bands with the characters, and that kind of stuff. We kind of wanted to bring a little piece of that to the children, and I got to see a lot of happy faces. So the report is just to let y'all know that the event was very successful. I don't know what feedback y'all got or whatnot, but I think our social media was very positive and our citizens enjoyed it.
I'll allow a little time for the rest of y'all to chime in, but just from my perspective, I thought y'all did a great job with this event, and it was a great team effort. And I did have people ask me a lot, well, why is it over there? Why? And so, once, I shared a little bit about the kinds of issues that you raised about the parking and some of the other sort of challenges that the other side had. I think people understood that a little bit better, but it was a great event. I love the Disney theme, and everybody seemed to really enjoy it, and the whole snow sort of a thing was great. I'm kind of curious what you maybe have in store for next year, maybe what lessons learned, because you and your whole staff are probably closest to it and have the best perspective. I showed up and everything looked very organized, and kids were all laughing and running and having a good time. Some of them got a little wet, but thankfully it wasn't cold. But I just don't know if anybody didn't have a good time there.
And for the most part, every year you go back to these events, it's gradually been growing.
Yes.
It's just been a growing type of event. Now that you have a partnership like the Outlet Mall, who contributed music and photo booths and everything, definitely we want to get started early on some of the notes we made to make some adjustments, maybe not put maybe a certain moon jump too far out to the corner, maybe a little bit closer, just little minor things like that. And obviously maybe our bike collection, if Mr. Perez donated 10, maybe 20. I mean,
Yeah.
but anyways, we want to start earlier.
That's how you get thanked for 10. You asked for 20.
Yeah, but definitely we'll get back on
Okay.
seeing what's in store for next year with the theme.
Other thoughts from anybody that you all want to share?
So one of the things I'd like to add that I saw an improvement on, I saw kids that were handicapped that were able to move around.
Yes.
I saw parents with strollers that if you were at the park, they couldn't do that in the grass. If they would have had the snow at the grass in the park, you would have had mud all over the place. So there's a lot of benefits this year, the way it was set up and what he did, the entertainment and all that. So that was a lot of positive that I noticed, especially with kids being able to move around. Saw some kids that were handicapped walking around, and they were assisted by their parents, which was good to see those kids out there. I typically don't see them at the park. So it was good to see that improvement.
And it's visible from the expressway too.
Yes, sir.
It's like a big event as people, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of people go up and down that expressway every day, but I know there's a bunch of them coming home about that time. And so that's a real
I know
feature for
we
people
gave
to
everybody
see.
that wow moment when the fireworks came,
Yes,
because we didn't announce it. We just we wanted to give them that wow moment, and they really did. I mean, we got a lot of good feedback on that too.
Okay. Other thoughts?
Well, I'll just keep it short. I think it was a great event, Chief and the staff and the team, first responders, everybody that put this thing together. I talked to a couple of the store owners as well. And I don't know if you've gotten the reports, Mr. Pettis, but some of the sales that day from some of those stores were up 15, 20% higher than usual. And so again, not only was it a positive thing for the kids, for the community, but also for the outlet mall. And what those revenues and taxes go back to is they go back to the city for improvements, for the infrastructure to improve the city. And I think on the backside and on the bottom line dollar, those are the other positive things that are not seen. But it brought not only emotional and positivity for the event, but also there was a financial positive as well. So thank you so much, everybody that was involved in this. It was all my kids. I almost wanted to jump on the sled, but I was too big.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Martinez?
Yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and kind of piggyback off of what Commissioner Howard mentioned, and just speak volumes as to the future of what we can do here. I think a lot of people need to kind of understand that the outlet mall is our premier business at this point because there's none like it anywhere except north of here, right, in San Marcos. So it wasn't just that day in particular. It was the day after and after that and so forth, because even when I went on the weekend, it was packed. And the tree, for better or for worse, of what people thought of it, it did bring in a lot of people. And not just, I read comments, people from Mexico. It wasn't just them. It was people from other cities. I saw coworkers of mine who were all the way from Mission coming all the way over here to see the tree. And at the same time, they asked me, hey, where's the Formacios at? Where's this at? So it brings in people to the area. I'm very hopeful about the future because now that we have the shops going on right next to it, right, now it's going to be more of an attractant, right? I just want to use this time to just say thank you for what you did. Thank you for putting it together. And hopefully next year will be just as big and hopefully we'll bring in more people. But it's a heck of a job, Chief, you and your staff, everybody, the lead up to it, all the hard work that you guys did. It was an awesome event, but I wanted you to know that I agree with Dr. Howe. It's not just that one day in particular. It was all the days that it was packed because that tree, you're right, you could see it off the highway, and even during the day it was on and you could see the lights on and people would go. So it was a tough move. We made it, but thankfully enough, it was a successful event and thereafter. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Y'all are fully employed without the Christmas winter wonderland. So thanks for going the extra mile because that's certainly not something you have to do. It's something you elect to do, everybody, and we appreciate it a whole lot. So let's talk about the barbecue now.
Amen.
Thank you. So obviously, right before Winter Wonderland this year, because we did bring out the Disney theme and everything that you saw, we needed to collect monies to try to get a skating rink, the snow, and all these other things and the toys. So we thought during the year, why not maybe do a barbecue cook-off, right? We got together with several people like Smokey on the Rio, who ended up joining in and actually promoting it as well. We got with K-Tex and everybody kind of kept it going. And when we kept hearing that the idea was going to be good because it's kind of mid-valley point for a lot of teams, we get teams from maybe McAllen just as much as we can from the east and the west, right, from everywhere. So we decided, you know what, let's give it a try. Let's see what we can do. And we got with director at the Dome, and he also liked the idea of maybe having it at the Dome. So we did have 33 teams registered. And just to know, we started our registration kind of late. We didn't start it like how normally other entities start, but we ended up getting 30 teams registered. Out of the 33, 28 ended up actually showing up and participating. The total amount, we raised good amounts, over $6,000 in just the team registration alone. In sponsorship, it was over $7,000, which is good. There was some expenditures that we had to do, and I know that there was some questions about, well, where are these monies coming to or through? It had nothing to do on any of the city accounts. What we did was the police department partnered up with Friends of the Mercedes Library because they also had been in need of assistance, and because we have a board and there's things that need to get through the board as well. So we got with Friends of the Mercedes Library. They wanted to participate in the event, so we made the event together. That's kind of where Jocelyn came in to save my life, and she did a lot of the planning phase for our cook-off. She handled a lot of the hands-on, so I gotta recognize her here publicly for that. She was dealing with the phone calls from the teams, which is, you know,
That's
if
a
you're a
full-time job,
competitive,
right?
if you're competitive, you know,
High maintenance.
yeah, good. Then
6%.
she had to deal with them. So I think it was fair enough because she did a lot of work that and Friends of the Library that we went 50-50 on our funds because I just really I knew that I was gonna get already funding for Winter Wonderland from other sponsorships and some of the other things. So we did go 50-50 with Friends of the Mercedes Library. So I have a quick clip that I'll show you, kind of our highlights, if you were there, if you weren't there, but so you can kind of see what we did for our cook-off. One. A sanctioned barbecue cook-off. Our state representative assisted us with that. It was a state championship. So that day we were competing technically against Laredo. They had a cook-off also. They started the registration a lot earlier. But the feedback we got from the teams that were here, they were making phone calls and everything. Our payout ended up being, you know, significantly good amount larger than over there. And everybody was like, man, why did we come to Laredo? We could have stayed here. But some of them, their sponsors had already committed to over there. So they're guaranteeing us that they're going to come over here instead of over there next year. We do it during the same time. But so you got to see a little bit of our cook-off. Everybody liked it. We had our award ceremony inside. That was something that some cooks were saying, like sometimes the awards happen outside. They were happy having it inside. The judging, everything went through. Everything was sanctioned. Everything was good. So they really enjoyed the cook-off. If you were there, y'all got to see a little bit of how it turned out. I know I saw Commissioner Garcia and Mayor Pro Tem there. We had a hospitality where, you know, I think MISD, after that victory that they had over there at the stadium, some of them came over. So it ended up being a good thing too. We actually, one of the grillers that were there, Natural Born Grillers, he had a big RV with a TV and we were watching the game live, you know, just, you know, it was a good time for everybody, to be honest with you. And the amounts that we collected, again, were used for Winter Wonderland, which you just saw. So that's where it comes from. So again, you know, kudos to Jocelyn. And then everybody here, I mean, some of the directors brought their wives and husbands to the event, and it was really joyful to see everybody there. For sure.
I'll just say, on top of the event, I just want to commend you for taking the time to put this presentation together for us and for everybody that's, you know, I'm a little scared and shocked sometimes at how many people actually watch these meetings. But for those that are watching or do watch, I think that's a great service to help them. Those that maybe didn't attend or didn't know it was going on, to kind of see what sorts of things that you're doing. And and when I say you, I mean everybody that was a part of it, because I saw everybody in the city running around doing that. I judged some of the plates inside as well, and it helps when you have an appetite too. But just a great event and a great cause, because that all goes to the Winter Wonderland. And so it's a great idea to have that ahead of time. And I know you've been pushing that for a while, and I'm glad it got off the ground and got going, because it was, I thought it was very successful, and I think it's going to be even better next year. And that's what I heard from a lot of folks as well, is that I'll be here next year, both from people that were there and those that wanted to be there and weren't able to. So, hey, when did this happen? Is this new? Is this, I don't remember. And so I think you're onto something, Chief.
Yes, sir. And just on the adjustments that we're going to make, one for sure, because I'm sure some of you were told, because I got told several times, was next year we have a fire truck prepared to just kind of spray the water down a little bit.
Oh, yeah, the dust.
'Cause there was some dirt, there was obviously some dirt, and maybe some of them turned in their fajitas a little saltier than what they
Yeah.
would have wanted. But yeah, that's one of the major changes that we'll do next year for sure.
Right. That's a little thing. Boy, the groups that were playing, I thought were good.
Yeah, a lot of them are students. They have a coalition
Yeah,
with the Hano
yeah.
Music, and I got them. So we had people from the instructor for Mercedes, I can't remember his name, but I know he does the conjunto, and then San Benito, Harlingen. So we had people from different areas and conjunto players. Yeah.
All right. Other comments?
So Chief, I know, I went out there Friday night for the hospitality, after our victory, and it was a great event. You all were preparing for Saturday. The teams were out there preparing. I got the chance to go out there and walk around Friday night for a little bit, talk to some of the teams, and then Saturday as well. Went out there for a while. Did visit with some of the teams. Everybody was very, very pleased with the event. Everything that I heard from the people was positive, and they all said that they will be back next year. I did hear, Mercedes ISD say, that they were cheated, but I'm not gonna say who the cooks were,
Yeah, they might need to change their cooks.
Yeah. So no, but overall it was a great event. Like Commissioner Saldaña said, the music was great. To see the students out there, with the conjunto programs, getting that going. Our culture, keeping that going. It was great, to get them involved as well.
So I was out there for a good time, and those cookers are very, very finicky people.
Oh yeah.
For to be out there as long as I was and not hear one single complaint. I think that's I did hear one, the dust one thing, but that's a little one. That's a little thing, but everybody was happy and they were glad to be there, and they, I thought it. I don't know why there wouldn't be even more teams next year.
Sure.
So good luck to that next year.
I would I'm going to concur with my fellow commissioners here as well. I heard nothing but positive things, Chief, and so great event. I saw a lot of the need there, which I think the cause of it goes for a good cause.
Sure.
And for the children, I think that's always a plus. So great job.
No, I mean, you guys are pretty much said everything.
Everything has been said. Well, you've got a whole bunch of fans up here, so congratulations, and anything we can do to help you next year, let's do it again.
Mayor Pro Temp, Honorable Commission, I make a motion to move up item 9D.
All right, there's a motion to move up item 9D. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. Ayes have it. Let's move then. Thank you, by the way, Chief. A great job to you and to the entire PD, fire, and everybody else that was a part of that. 9D, okay, are you ready for us? That's discussion, possible action regarding city support for Catholic Cemetery. Edwina, welcome and thank you for being here.
It has its days.
And I'm
They're
like,
watching online.
Celebrating.
Announcements.
Yes. Thank you.
Everybody has different. Same thing. You can just continue to look over. You can be looking at the pictures while I'm talking up here. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for your time. My name is Edwina Salazar Trevino. I am the treasurer for the Mercedes Catholic Cemetery Association. I'm here to share a brief history of our story and the restoration of Our Lady of Mercy Catholic Cemetery. In 1992, my mother and her sister began having conversations about the resting place of their parents and all of their loved ones. And as you can see from the pictures, the cemetery was unkept. Some of the pictures you can see where the cemetery was unkept and a disarray at that time, and it had been that way for many years. So their heartfelt concern and determination led to the formation of what is now the Mercedes Catholic Cemetery Association, and it was officially established in 1994. So in summary, there were many cleanup efforts, as you can see from the pictures, that were carried out by local residents and the Homer Salinas Rehabilitation Center. Food was generously donated by local eateries and community members. We also received contributions and support from many entities, including attorney Juan Gonzalez, Rudy Salinas Accounting Firm, Klausner Construction, Rudy Garza Funerals, Alonso Trevino and his family, Mario Dominguez State Farm, the Diocese of Brownsville, the American Legion, JA Post 172, and the City of Mercedes. And those are just to name a few. There were so many. So over the 3,000 of those that we held dear that are resting in the cemetery, our goal was to maintain and upkeep the cemetery. And it is our contribution to the community as an association. But more importantly, it is about respecting the graves, remembering God's promise, and honoring our loved ones and our veterans. For Mr. Homer Sergio Garcia, our maintenance guru, if you go by the cemetery on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays in the morning, he only works 3 half days. And Mr. Garcia, Mario Dominguez, and myself, these efforts span for over 33 years. So I was very young when one of you can see my picture in there. It doesn't even look like me. I showed it to my son. He didn't even recognize me. I don't know if that's good or bad. Yes.
Very pretty.
There is a picture of a beautiful young lady. Is that you?
That her?
One. Beautiful and young. Yeah, that's me.
There you go. That's you.
Anyway, so that was before children, okay? I'll blame it on that. So, okay, so in the midst of all these years, there was a historical marker declaration that reads as follows, and one of you has a picture of that. It reads, the historical marker, if you go by the cemetery, it's there right by the altar, and this is what it says. The town of Mercedes was platted by the Capizayo Town and Improvement Company in 1907. The Oblate Provincial Council in Austin requested that the company provide a site for a Catholic church, and Our Lady of Mercy Catholic Church was dedicated in February 1909. In December of that year, Carmen Nava Garza was the first to be interred on this site in a marked grave. The Capizayo Company gave 4 acres, including this site, which is where the cemetery is at, to the Brownsville Diocese in 1910, and the cemetery was named for the parish church that existed at that time, which was Our Lady of Mercy Catholic Cemetery. Our Lady of Mercy Cemetery served those who were not buried on private ranches outside Mercedes. With more than 2,341 marked and 56 unmarked sites, the cemetery continues to serve Mercedes. And the marker was erected in the year 2000. So you don't have a list there, but I'm going to go over the original members from 1994. And the ones I'm going to name first are all deceased. Okay? Consuelo Cantu Garza, Estela Cantu Salazar, Elida Treviño, Angie Treviño, Rutilio Rudy Garza Jr., María Tonchilial, Abel Leal Sr., Bernardino Nino Cantu Sr., Anne Anita Cantu, Humberto Beto Garcia, everybody remembers Beto Garcia, Rogelio Roy Elizondo, and the three that are still living is J.R. Lorenzana, myself, and Mario Dominguez Sr. Those, us three are the only living ones from the original group that was working at that time on this project. So the current officers are, President is Mario Dominguez Sr., Vice President is Dr. Fernando Castillo, Secretary is Diana Dominguez, and Treasurer is myself. Are there any questions? Comments?
Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And it's helpful to understand sort of the history and where it all began. And I thought that would be a good way to get the discussion started today. I think
Sure.
just to, what brings us here today is that, as I understand, and you can correct me if I misspeak, is that the cemetery is for the most part full. There's not, and so the way cemeteries work is that you sell plots, right? And you have revenue, and then that revenue is used to provide maintenance for the cemetery.
That's correct.
So, so with the cemetery being full, the revenue stream for that has slowed significantly. How much, and so now we're at a point where we're trying to figure out exactly how to proceed with ensuring that cemetery is cared for, and what, if any, role the city might have in that. We did a little homework, right? Edwina and I have been talking about this for quite a while now, and we had meetings with the city of Wesco, and we kind of talked through a lot of different scenarios with the city manager, with the city attorney as well, to explore what the legalities might be there and all of that. We've run, and thank you, Marty, for helping that. We ran title searches and all that because we're trying to figure out exactly what we can and can't do legally, totally separate from what we can and what we might want to do. So we find we might be constrained by law. We need to know that up front. But what we did find out was that, and you mentioned it, that the land company, the Capisayo Land Company, and that's part of the same marker that's at Our Lady of Mercy. I think maybe those were all placed at the same time, but the bottom line is we don't know who owns that thing. The title, the deeds are sketchy and incomplete, and sometimes they are well, I can't think of the word now, but there's no clear owner. One set of records may show the city, another set of records show the Catholic Association. You say the land was conveyed to the diocese in 1910, but there's no record that I've seen. There may be a record out there, but there's no record I've seen of that. I've been told that there was a reporting relationship between the cemetery and the diocese, which would suggest the diocese either owned it or had possession of it at some point in time. I don't know that the city has ever really taken a formal role with it, but our previous discussions were that we didn't really want, we don't want this, we want to help with a solution going forward. And I don't know, when we don't want to kick the can down the road, that's what the mayor and I talked as well, and we want to see if there's a way we can help with some kind of a permanent solution. So I don't know what that would be, but what I understand is that the city can help if we wish to. But at the same time, what do we do long term? You know, because that might be a way of a temporary sort of a fix. We went and spoke to the folks in Weslaco. We went and met with the city of Weslaco. I don't see Mando here, but in Weslaco, the Parks Department is the one that's responsible for the cemetery. So it's probably a good thing he's not here. You know, they kind of explained their whole scenario, and McCaleb was there as well from McCaleb Funeral Home, and he kind of gave us some ideas, suggestions on what he might suggest. So I'm just going to open the floor up to any questions that y'all may have, and maybe give you an opportunity to suggest some things to us that we might want to consider.
Well, so help me here, understanding the conveyance of this message or this agenda item. So we're looking for some type of funding to help for the maintenance
Correct.
of the cemetery? Okay. And at some point, the city of Mercedes used to help?
Initially, when the first cleanup took place.
Yeah,
between
kind of like a,
92 and 94, they lent us a hand,
mm-hmm,
you know, with brush pickup and that kind of thing.
yeah,
But there was never a formal
like a
agreement.
formula, okay. As far as my concern, and it's not even a concern, I would be in total favor of the city of Mercedes helping with somewhat help out a little bit, but I know there's some legal aspects to some of these things. So I would like to love the help as far as or getting the city involved, because a lot of our relatives, a lot of our ancestors are there as well, and from the community. And so I think it's important, because in the end of the day, at some point, we're going to be there. At some point, at the end of the
That is true.
and so, but if the city can Mercedes, I think if we can maybe, from my 2 cents, is look into it if we can, and if we can, great. Let's figure out some type of number and how we can help. I was doing a small little research. I know there is it a historical marker or not?
Yes.
There, okay. So I know there's also like the preservation grant. There's a historical, or the Texas Historical Commission, the Historical Cemetery Perseverance grants. Maybe with some of those monies, because of the culture, because of the age. I mean, it's 1907. That's almost the start of when Mercedes started. It's awesome, and because of the year and because of the culture, and it's beautiful. And I do agree. And I have a vision where it's very cleaned up. It would look nice, and so I would say maybe also seeing what grants are there available. And I know we have a wonderful librarian and her staff. They love the history. Maybe they can help at some point look and research how maybe some of these grants can go towards the cleanup. But that's from me. But I'm all for it. And but again, I'm only one vote and one small percent of this commission.
So I'm all in for it. You know, I do have my great grandparents there, some aunts, uncles. As a matter of fact, a few years ago, myself and some of my family, we got together at my great grandparents' tomb, and they have the statue there, and we sanded it down, we cleaned it up, and repainted it, you know, to bring some life back into it. You know, make sure that they, that they're not forgotten,
Right.
because that's, that's where we come from. And, you know, not only was it myself, that they were my great grandparents, but my cousin's kids. So it was their great great grandparents that were out there. They were out there, they didn't get to meet them. I didn't get a chance to meet my great grandparents, but the younger generation, like, oh wow, they're, this is where my great great grandparents are, and they were taking time out of their day, taking a little bit of pride, to give back, just to kind of clean up the area, so I do see, that there is a lot of work to be done, and if there's any way that we can help, I'd be more than glad to support it.
I don't know, Commissioner, you have anything you want to add? I don't know that we necessarily have a solution right now and here tonight, but I did want to get, I guess, the conversation started, and that's why it's worded the way it is, discussion and possible action. Maybe, if there was something we thought we want to do, we could. The range of what we could do goes all the way from nothing, saying, good luck, Ms. Trevino, and all the way to the city getting into the cemetery business, which I don't know that there's that would be a whole complicated sort of a task, but
Luckily, our parks director's back.
yeah, but there's a danger in leaving the meeting, Mr.
The
Villar.
logistics of
But- go ahead.
upkeeping and maintaining
Yes.
records and all
Yes,
that,
yes.
it's a huge task in itself.
Mhm.
I am the contact person. Before me, it used to be my mom. My mom passed away in 2019, and I just kind of inherited it, and so when I'm gone, I don't know who's going to do it. So, maybe somebody will take over, but we don't want to leave that to chance, and we want to make sure that it doesn't become an eyesore as it was before 1994. So that's the purpose of getting this conversation going.
You can elect to not answer this question if you'd
Okay.
like, but one thing we can do is provide some amount of short-term assistance until we can figure something out longer term, because I don't know that we have anything in any formal plans for this tonight, but what's your budget, and how short are you all? Where are you short in help? How can we help with that? And understanding that that's probably just a short-term thing.
Right. Well, our budget is about $3,000 a month,
Okay.
and that includes salary to the two gentlemen that work there, 3 half days. Then we have equipment, of course, lawnmowers, weed eater, gas, oil, blades, Roundup. There's just a lot of, but it's about $3,000 a month. That's our budget. Sometimes it's less because we don't have the funds, so we have to cut back on the work. And
Pray
then
for no rain.
Pardon?
Pray for no rain.
Well, yes, no rain. That we don't have to cut the grass, right?
Right.
But yeah, that's what our budget is. That would be really comfortable. But we do have some patrons that donate yearly. Most of them are not from Mercedes. They're from out of town: San Antonio, Corpus, Houston, Dallas, McAllen, Mission. But they're very few. Very few.
Well, my preference would be to find a way to help the association to do its work, because I think y'all have done a great job over the years, and I'm just so glad that there's somebody there doing that. Perhaps we can add this to the discussions for budget next year, Mr. Pettis. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if that needs to be in the form of a motion or not. That's probably one thing we can do is add it to the list of things that we'll consider, and that doesn't encumber us for this year, but you say $3,000 a month, so we, I don't know what that would involve, but legally I think we can help if we want to, correct?
Yes, the only research that I would like to do is just because it's a certain religion,
Right.
just to make sure that.
There's no problems with that.
Yes. But we do have other organizations within the city, like KMB and other organizations we can get with. And I know the Friends of the Library is a 501c3. So we'll explore our options. I know that we've talked before, but we kind of need to get a feasibility study to the actual amount. So when budget cycle does come and we can do it.
How does that sound?
That sounds fine. And we do have our tax returns that we filed this year with Rudy Salinas, so we could get an actual figure of what the expenses are, if y'all needed that.
Yes, if you could forward those, that would be helpful.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion for us to go ahead and explore the possibility of support for the next year's fiscal budget, of course, pending legal review, if that's a possibility. And that way we can go ahead and pan out those details.
Second.
Okay. Motion's made by Commissioner Martinez, second by Commissioner Garcia. Any discussion on that motion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye. All those opposed say no. Ayes have it, motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Vino.
And if y'all
Thank you,
need
ma'am.
another meeting, just make it after 5.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go back to the regular order of the agenda, which I believe is item 7A and B. I don't know if we want to take those separately. I guess we take them separately. Item 7A, approval of minutes for the meeting held December 16th.
Mayor Pro Tem, I make a motion to go ahead and approve the minutes of meeting held December 16, 2025.
The second? All right, motion is made by Commissioner Martinez, second by Commissioner Garcia. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Ayes have it, motion carries. 7B, approval of the First Amendment to the interlocal cooperation agreement between the County of Hidalgo and the City of Mercedes regarding MV CPA Task Force FY 26. Sergeant?
I recommend approval. I recommend approval. I reviewed it. Just
Okay.
an amendment.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Commission. So obviously, going over the amendment for the task force.
All right.
Just a brief on it.
The number changed a little bit, and
Number changed just a tad little bit,
Yeah.
but I want to show you the benefits, how
Okay.
significantly our auto thefts have gone down. 2024, we're at 55 auto thefts, and majority of them were obviously coming out from the outlets. As of last year, they went down to 19. And of course, considering all the auto thefts is not always going to be your typical thefts that happen at the outlets or other businesses. They're also considered from, let's say you have a family member lend out the car to the son or a relative or something like that. You know, they'll report it, unauthorized use of motor vehicle, which falls under that category. But, you know,
It's
just
still a
stating
dramatic
that-
drop though, from 55 to 19, wouldn't you say? I mean, that's pretty good.
So this task force has been really good with us, obviously with the assistance with other agencies. You know, they're always in communication. They're always obviously out to help us out.
Mayor Pro Tem, I make the motion to approve the First Amendment of the interlocal cooperation agreement.
I'll second.
motion is made to approve item 7B by Commissioner Martinez, second by Commissioner Garcia. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Ayes have it, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
And good work on the,
Thank you, Lieutenant.
on the task force.
Great job.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Item 8A, city manager update on Realplex.
So give you a quick background on the city of Mercedes, is, if you don't know by now, it's positioned to experience a significant residential growth in the next year and a half. We're talking about 5,000 plus homes, and we get information every week that there's additional interest in more development. Most of it, or a lot of it, has been in the outskirts of the city and wanting to voluntary annex. In fact, we got today another 50 acres that are intending to self-annex to the city or voluntary annex. With this in mind, obviously, as there's a desire to be in this community, pricing and everything, presents a critical challenge on ensuring availability of high-quality employment and opportunities. And this is where RealPlex comes in. So with RealPlex, they represent a collaborative effort between the private sector, governmental entities, educational institutions, and nonprofits. And they're there to promote the region for industrial potential development. They're looking at attracting investments to strengthen binational economic ties. And so the opportunity that we're looking for from the city of Mercedes, obviously, from the economic development strategy, is to shift towards a stronger emphasis on industrial development, job creation, and workforce strengthening. So we know the rooftops are coming. We want to make sure we have the jobs in the area also. And that's what this is all about.
Yes, so is this an action item or just an update?
This is an update.
Okay, yes. So probably many of us are very familiar with RealPlex. They're actually the strong arm and marketing arm of the Rio Grande Valley and the region. They're out there. This is a great thing. And if we can be part of this organization, that's always a plus. I'm always hesitant when it comes to vacant housing versus occupied housing, because we need families in those homes to get those revenues. But the city of Mercedes is growing. I'm excited for the future, and being part of the RealPlex will not only benefit the region, but hugely help the city of Mercedes from a marketing standpoint.
Mr. Pettis, the backup in here shows a $5,000 per year planet level. Is that a membership or
Yes,
what,
sir.
what is?
In order to participate with them and being involved, so one of the components that they're involved with is requests for information come in from the government, from the state level or federal level, that they're looking for investment areas. And one of the things that they will be coordinating with the cities that participate with them is connecting them with the EDCs. A lot of times the EDCs will not respond, or if they do respond, and the benefit of being part of RealPlex is, so let's say an investor is coming in and they want to invest in the Dallas-Fort Worth area or possibly in South Texas. Well, if the EDC or Mercedes responds alone and says, hey, we've got open land, we got raw land, we've got all this, it's cheaper than everywhere else, we have the space, we have the infrastructure. If there's one response going back to that entity, they're going to look at the bigger cities where they're saying 5, 10, 15, 20 responses and saying, well, there's more interest in this area, versus RealPlex coordinating with other EDCs in the Rio Grande Valley as a group.
Yeah, as a
saying,
region.
hey,
They
there's
respond as a
all
region.
these opportunities as a region. Then those entities would probably open their eyes and say, hey, we really need to look into South Texas. And that's all this is about, numbers.
Okay, so they're tied into the EDCs, or are they just a whole different entity themselves?
They will be tied to the EDCs, and we'll be participating, we'll be part of the committee to make sure we're engaging with all the EDCs in the region, specifically smaller towns.
Every single large city is part of the RealPlex, and especially I know the Judge Cortez is. I don't know if he's a member or he's big on that. And I think lately we're marketing. If we market Mercedes individually, it's difficult. But if we market as a region, that helps
Stand a better
benefit.
chance.
And so, like I said, RealPlex is the marketing arm of the region and of the Rio Grande Valley, and I think being part of that is a plus.
So can we expect an action item later, or is that your intent?
We can do it administratively. We
Okay.
just wanted to
Okay.
show you the background and give you some insight.
All right. Okay. Thanks for sharing that. I think you'd have our support going forward if you decided to make that administration.
Yes, sir.
All right, management items, item 9. A, consider and take possible action to ratify the final plat approval for Stable Estates.
Finally,
Yeah.
Final plat.
Stable Estates is a subdivision just south of Valley Ranch. It's on Mile 1 East. It's a 30-acre subdivision with 109 lots. They're going to be having fourplexes and townhouses. They obtained final approval in May last year for PNC, but they were still pending quite a few items. They still pending the lift station and a few other items that we had the contractor and the developer sign an agreement, so we'll be granting them the final approval, subject to them finalizing everything, and we will not be issuing out building permits until everything is completed.
Mayor Pro Tem, I make a motion to go ahead and ratify the final plat for approval.
Second.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Martinez to ratify the final plat approval for Stable Estates, second by Commissioner Garcia. Any discussion? All those in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. Ayes have it, motion carries. Thank you, Denise. Item 9B, consider and take action on the approval of the interlocal agreement between Hidalgo County Urban Program and the City of Mercedes for FY '25.
Mayor Pro Tem, make a motion to approve.
Second? That's on page 151 of the backup, if you want to look it up.
I'll second.
All right, motion is made by Commissioner Martinez, seconded by Commissioner Garcia, to approve interlocal between Hidalgo County Urban Program and City of Mercedes for FY 2025. Any discussion? The only thing I'll say there is I looked at some of that, and I noticed that 100% of it is going to streets, and I think that's a good thing.
Yes, sir.
I did notice though too that the targeted streets are the ones over here, the Cedar and Willis. I don't know if it's Willisey or
On the north side.
but I thought those were already paid for out of a different year, or what happened,
This is 2025.
right?
That's
Okay.
what we're targeting. 2026 should be coming up, right, Jocelyn, in the next agenda.
Yeah, they had it on the last one.
Okay, all right, okay.
They're always a year behind.
Well, I'm glad those streets are getting done. And when might we expect like some dust to fly on that? I mean, some,
Well, typically they will engineer it themselves. They coordinate and manage that project, so probably in the next 3 to 4 months.
okay, all right, so it'll be quick, 'cause we've been
In
waiting
fact,
on
we
that
have
for
a meeting
while.
with them this week to work on or finalize the 2026 approach or project and
Okay.
what streets that's gonna cover.
All
So
right,
we'll confirm timing on
Okay.
when they start.
all right, okay, thank you. Okay, any other discussion?
No, sir.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Ayes have it, motion carries. Item 9C, consider and take action regarding the approval to terminate the tax increment reinvestment zone number 1 agreement.
Mayor Pro Tem, we had discussed this item last. Can I go ahead and make a motion to approve?
I'll second.
All right, motion's made by Commissioner Martinez and seconded by Commissioner Howell to terminate the tax investment zone number 1 agreement. Any discussion on this item? Mr. Perez, would you shed a little light on that?
Yes, obviously we have, actually there's two of them. We have a livestock show every year. We have to go to the state of Texas to secure a permit to close the street. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about the TERS.
Oh, I'm sorry, the tourists.
Yeah,
Sorry,
and
let
I
me back
think,
up.
I think the TERS.
I'm getting ahead of myself. So the tourists, I think since I arrived in the city 4 years ago, we've been trying to work with the county to catch up on the documentation and what was lacking and what was available to us. And what we kept running into, we could never catch up on the documentation because it didn't exist. And so we can't make up some of that stuff. So some of the investments that were done or commitments and all that was non-existent from the reporting side. So it's hard to come up with that information to be able to ever be, up to date with what was required, because they do have requirements on the reporting side and the investment side from the city's perspective.
And that log jam, I
Yes.
mean, it's one thing not to report, it's another thing not to be able to report. And it
Correct.
just, my understanding is we just physically don't have what they need,
information.
the information that they are requiring.
I
And
mean,
meanwhile, we have another TERS that we're trying, that's kind of got a dollar waiting on a dime,
Yes.
so to speak. And that's getting held up because of the problems and issues
Correct.
associated with this one. So
Yes,
that's the whole reason for terminating it, so that we can kind of take that one off the books
Yes,
with
sir.
with the consent of the county and move on the other one. So that's the only thing I wanted to throw out there in case anybody's wondering why are we doing this.
Yeah, just my small little note on that. I think we've discussed it as a commission. All efforts were exhausted in trying to save this potential TERS project, but we were unable to due to a lot of missing information. And in addition to that, it was not going to be financial feasible for us to do this. So I think the best thing we discussed with the commission and with the board on this item was just to move on and go on to a bigger fish to hopefully fry and help the city grow and invest in.
so if I can kind of add a little bit more, and every year, the county and the city are supposed to be allocating funds for the specific project that's under the TERS. So the county's been doing their part all this time, but none of that can be dispersed unless all these reporting requirements are met. And so for all this time, we've been trying, we had the previous finance director that's no longer with us. She worked put a lot of effort into it. The current that we have now also did that. And we worked with the county auditor's office also, trying to catch us up. And it was just like mission impossible. And so due to the fact that we're trying to start another one that's focused on specific projects, it would be difficult to show that we have the ability to manage a TERS. And so therefore, this is why this is being presented to you like this.
Okay. And the other thing to mention is that this is not going to have any adverse effect on any businesses or anything
No, sir.
located in that zone. And it was the recommendation of Bill and
Correct.
to take this course of action. All right. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Okay, ayes have it. Motion carries. Item 9D, discussion and possible action regarding cities. Oh, wait, we already did that one.
Yes.
10A, consider and take action to approve Resolution 2026-01 regarding the agreement for the temporary closure of state right-of-way,
It's annual.
7th Annual Rio Grande Valley Livestock Show Parade, and there's a companion piece there, 10B, we might as well take
Mayor
on.
Pro Tem, yeah,
Same time, that's 10B, related to the actual livestock show itself, that's Resolution 2026-02.
Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to go ahead and approve items A and B. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah,
We're-
I'll
we need to
second
close
it.
this.
It's, this is an annual thing of the road closures. I think there's really no needed detailed explanation.
There's a motion by Commissioner Martinez to approve, a second by Commissioner Howe. Sergeant, you're up to the mic, and we've got, I don't know, about 40 pages of temporary closure information, so you don't have to go page by page, but
why I was-
for the benefit of the public, maybe tell us what may be different this year. I know there's a different exit strategy for the parade.
Well, I'm not gonna mention names, but I wasn't the one with all the paperwork.
Okay.
And the submission, but just a small detail on the exit route. So on the parade, you know how usually we'll exit them out through Missouri, out to the livestock show, and then out to Missouri. So this year we coordinated with livestock showgrounds employees, and what they suggested was to now reroute them to 491. So instead of closing out, you know, where just right there on Texas 491, on Aquitas before the curb, you know, we usually shut that down. Instead, we're gonna go further up. The name of that street, you know where that new taco place is at? Where they're making the new subdivision for the
Oh, yes,
for
yes,
the
yes.
apartments?
Summer Breeze.
So what we're gonna do is turn around the vehicles that way. That way it won't get congested like it has been in the previous years. You know, when you're getting 491, especially with the 18-wheelers, you know, the hard time that they're trying to back up. So this time it'll just make it a little bit more conditional to help ease the traffic jam there.
Okay. That's for the show itself.
That's for the show itself, for the parade, I'm sorry.
Oh, for the parade, okay.
Now, for the show, it's gonna be the same, you know, obviously from a certain time, from 5:30 to 8:30,
And obviously the hours can vary. You know, what we're gonna be doing is allowing traffic to flow east on frontage and west on frontage from Texas. Same thing with Vermont. If it gets congested, we're only expect to do it for a couple hours.
So we're not going through anymore, like in the end, you know, when like the, it starts parade,
Yes, it's still gonna go through, but
But then we're-
instead,
we're turning,
you know where the
Where the antique farm
Yes.
machinery's at.
Between-
We're gonna take a right.
instead,
instead.
okay.
So
So
instead of Missouri, we're gonna go that way.
so we're still, the tradition is still going through
Yeah,
those
yeah.
homes, because those
Yeah.
people love it. I mean, it's,
Well, not only that, but you still have people that sit right there. At
yeah,
the
that's
show
what I'm
and watch
saying,
it.
that's what I'm saying.
But the only difference is instead of going left,
Okay, and the end part, okay.
The end
Makes
part, though,
sense.
So after getting out of there, the floats and everybody participating with the parade, they're gonna go north on 491 and cut onto Mile 8.
And then,
Okay.
And then we'll obviously reroute back to.
We'll try it out. It's a pilot, we'll pilot it. We'll see how it goes.
that's kind of,
it's kind of long though. It's kind of a long way. I mean, at least Missouri, it's like,
and y'all are gonna have those roads all shut down so that they can make their way back, or are they gonna be fighting
Yes.
traffic? Yeah,
They're gonna be shut down.
okay. That's man,
have you guys considered the
that's a long
neighborhood?
way around the
Well,
barn,
wait, but have you
but-
guys considered the people that live around that area? I mean,
So
how are
obviously
they gonna
we're-
come through and
We
all
will
that
have
fun
officers
stuff?
posted in that area, you know, considering, you know, anybody that's saying, hey, well, we're part of this neighborhood or this and that, you know, all right, we'll let them through, obviously. But mainly for that change is just to get the parades, get the floats out to a safer route.
Okay, so
and not
that,
get
that particular
congested.
thing, I'm sorry, Mayor Pro Tem, go ahead.
What was the problem with them going out through Missouri, out down Armory, and then back on like Vermont?
So the issue was last year, I don't know if y'all remember on the parade, well, when Missouri and Armory, during that same time, obviously the livestock show has already started. So all the, what do you call it, the livestock, the cattle and everybody that's trying to get through, it had severely congested last year.
Oh, okay.
But you don't think this will make it worse?
What's a different congestion? Because it's
Yeah,
It's a different-
but I think there's more, that's more of a residential side.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then it kind of, it bottlenecks a little bit, but then it kind of thins out and we're able to.
we just approved it, so we're gonna find out.
Well, the approvals for discussion, the approvals for discussion, so that's how it works, but,
I mean, it's just like anything else, like you said, Commissioner, we can pilot it. If it doesn't work out this year, we can
Try something
always
else.
try something else.
But y'all think it's a workable, it's a workable plan?
Now, speaking behalf for the police department, it is workable. I mean, it's 491. It is a large.
Because y'all are in charge of
Larger
public
battalion.
safety, not them. Yeah.
Now we are going to be obviously having officers in those designated areas, especially when we close them off over there on 491 by that area, the Taco area.
yeah, I just feel it's gonna be an issue for the residents,
so, too.
there as well, but,
I mean, that's a hell of a route, man.
yeah.
You know, especially when you have to go through mile one. Have we notified, or do you know if they've notified people of this route, like the schools and so forth? And the only reason why I'm saying is because, you know, the school buses usually park a certain space, so you pick up the band members, things like that. I don't know what congestion they're talking about. I mean, we've left that parade route. There's not a whole lot going on there. I mean, I get it, right?
Well,
you got
no,
people
there is some stuff going on, and it's probably
granted,
not.
but not to the point where it's going to stop flow on either way. And it just seems like this is a total inconvenience of going all the way that way, when all you had to do was go around Armory and you're just
When I
back
think
this
an
way.
inconvenience for the residents, I don't know if how logistical thought of it was, but
Do
yeah.
you have school going on around that time, by the way? I'm just curious.
Now that's the spring break week.
Okay, only because last year, I know that was one of the issues, right, with the school buses, things like that. But
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
we can give it a shot.
All right.
so livestock show is starting from March 12th all the way up to 22nd.
Yeah.
It's just that day of the parade.
Yeah, that one day for a
That one
couple
day.
hours, and we'll. My vote's just C, and if it turns out to not work as well, then we'll
Scrap it.
we'll scrap it and we'll go back, you know. But I know what you're talking about, Sergeant, you know, is it's probably, you know, they have that parking lot and there's a lot of people walking across, and there is already, the show's already in full swing by that day, you know, there's stuff going on, and it's probably challenging for people to walk across Missouri and not get run over by, you know,
Well, one of
floats
the-
and stuff that are going through. It becomes a problem
I-
for them to, I know, and that's pedestrian
I
traffic.
do have a question though. Maybe, I don't know if it's for you or I don't know if it's for the stock show. So the parade's going down Main Street. We're exiting 491. If people want to get to the show, how are they going to get in? Because you're closing off the only entrance on 491, because when we would do it years past, there would still be people going into the show while the parade's going.
Well, it's only going to block the public entrance because at that point, I think most of the people that are there
You're
are
saying closing 491.
So as wide as it is, there is gonna be not only us, but management from the livestock showgrounds. They're only gonna cover a certain area as far as when the floats are coming out or anybody that's participating on the parade. As far as anybody coming, it's gonna be the same access as far as like when we close down right there on frontage. While they're coming by Mount One East and going on frontage, going all the way through the loop there to Anaquita/491, they're still gonna be able to.
Okay, but that's what I'm trying to say. So you got parade route going out that way. You got people going that way. Kind of seems like it's going to be a pain in the neck, bro. I'm only being honest with you because you got all this traffic that's still coming in. Then you have to reroute everybody through that one area. And then you're going to go down that little street right there where the sign parking's at. And then you're going to have to take a left. It seems like, man, dude, like, I don't know.
We'll see. If the stock show wants it and the PD is supportive of it, then I'd say let's give them a shot and see how it works out. And if not, well, then there's always next year. All right, anything else? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no.
Nay.
All right, we've got 3, 4, and 1 against.
Because it still has to happen. If we don't approve it, no parade, right?
Well,
Well, this is more of the route.
Well, no, because we have to put notice of the closure. No closure, no parade.
What's still,
all
You
right.
know what I mean?
Well, we got a 3-1 vote. Motion passes.
okay, for the record, I'm all for the parade, and I just the logistical route. Just kind of, I'm taking the consideration of the residents in that area. I'm not voting against the parade. My children love it, and so does the Rio Grande Valley. And I love the stock show as well. It's traditional. So again, just for the record, thank you.
All right, item 11, bids and contracts. A, consider and take action. Thank you, Sergeant.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Probably more complicated than you thought it was going to be. Consider and take action on agreement to ratify the purchase agreement for the new house property known as Capisayo S 28.50 et al. That appears after that. That's a legal description. I ain't going to repeat
Mayor
all
Pro
of it.
Tem, I make a motion.
To approve or
To
what kind of
approve, sorry.
motion? Okay. So we have a motion to approve, second by Commissioner Garcia. Any discussion? Mr. Pettis?
This is the property that is slightly across, almost across the street from Public Works. Obviously, the plan is to secure property for a second water plant as the city continues to grow north.
That's a great location,
It's
very
next to
strategic
the-
location. It's right across the street from our Public Works
And
Department.
it's next to the irrigation
And
district,
it's next to the irrigation canal.
yes.
What is the, have we had that, I mean, this, I was reading through that and how that's all gonna progress and closure and everything, but have we appraised that property? And that's in line with the asking price?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Ayes have it, motion carries. Item 11B, consider and take possible action to approve municipal court judge, Ms. Melissa Canales, renewal agreement, I believe that
Mayor
item
Pro
was.
Temp, Honorable Commission, I make a motion to approve item 11B, the consideration of Judge or Honorable Judge Melissa Canales, renewal for her agreement.
That's second.
All right, motion made by Commissioner House, second by Commissioner Martinez to renew the agreement for the municipal court judge. I believe that's for 1 year. Because the current year is going to expire here next month. Any further discussion on that? Very well. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Ayes have it, motion carries. Item 11C, consider and take action regarding the conveyance of real estate to the Development Corporation of Mercedes Original Town Site and the legal description.
Correct the legal description. For the record on this, it is BIXBYS 735.5 of Highway 83, Lot 5, an irrigation territory E202.58, Lot 6, 17.33 acres.
Mayor Pro Tem, make a motion to approve with the new information there.
All right, motion is made by Commissioner Martinez, second by Commissioner Garcia to convey real estate as described in the legal description from the city of Mercedes to the Development Corporation of Mercedes. Is there any discussion on that? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion carries. Next item is item 12, executive session. Per chapter 551 Texas Government Code, section 551071, consultation with attorney, section 551072, deliberation regarding real property, section 551074, personnel matters, and section 551087, economic development. Is there a motion to go into executive
Make a
session?
motion, Mayor Pro Tem.
Motion made by Commissioner Martinez, second by Commissioner Garcia. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no.
A quick discussion, is there anything in executive session that we can bring out to, public, discussion? Marty? Or does everything need to be, is everything there executive?
Well, the project ALP 172 is EDC. There's really no update on litigation and personnel matters. That would be a question for Mr. Bettis.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we can play it by ear back there and just for, transparency and professionalism purposes. Thank you.
All right, all those in favor, well, we already got all of the motions, so we'll go into executive session now. 7:55. Well, you tell me when. I'm gonna look at the time. What time is it?
It's,
8:42?
Yes, sir.
It's 8:42, and I'd like to call the meeting back into session. We are now in item 13, open sessions with possible action pertaining to any and all items discussed in executive session. I'd like to take this time to entertain any motions that you all have.
Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to make a motion for us to approve the letter of support for Project American Legion and other pending projects.
Second?
Motion has been made to provide a support letter for the American Legion project along with other priority projects for the city of Mercedes. That motion was made by Commissioner Martinez, seconded by Commissioner Garcia. Any discussion?
I just want to say that as a commission, gentlemen, and my father was a member of the Legion. It gives me great pride to make a motion also to approve of this. And gentlemen, we are here to support our men and women of the armed forces, and especially you guys. And gentlemen, thank you for everything you do in this community.
Yes, sir.
And for what you did for our country.
Thank y'all for coming by.
Thank you, yes, sir.
It's for the grant application.
Oh, for the grant application, letter of support for the grant application and other pending projects. There, just so we're clarified. Yeah,
All right.
I can't read your lips.
Um,
It was the letter of support, but this was for the, yeah. It's a long name. It's a long name.
okay.
Whatever we need to do, we'll do it. As far as the verbiage.
Any further discussion?
Yes, sir.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Item 14, adjournment.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Garcia to adjourn, seconded by Commissioner Martinez. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion carries. We now stand adjourned. It's 8:44.
God bless Mercedes and go Tigers.